seems the month is beginning to pull its feet at this point because you would have expected it to be over by now. But hopefully in a week, we should be rounding it all up. I told you yesterday to hang in there. It will soon be salary day. All right, and people would smile. Congratulations. I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Chinazo Uba. That is Wanyi Odenibo of Vote 104.3 FM. Miss Immaculate Chinazo Uba. Thank you so much and congratulations on your birthday. She is Igbo broadcaster and of course Wanyi Odenibo on Volt 104.3 FM, wishing you long life, prosperity, and a very abundant year. Welcome to a brand new week. Welcome to a brand new disposition. This is your chance to be a little more productive, to make certain changes, round up, tie up loose ends before the year is over. So you have about a month to fix and put a few things together before the year runs out. We are hopefully counting down to the Christmas celebration. Good cheer and good reasoning is coming into the environment. I mean, imagine Dangote. We're waking up this morning to him saying that he's about, in fact, he has already reduced the price of petroleum to marketers. It has gone from 990 to 970, and he has said that he is making this reduction in appreciation of Nigerians who stood by him to make sure that the refinery became a reality. And I didn't know that that was enough reason to reduce the price of a commodity. I didn't know that sentiments towards Nigerians can reduce the price of petroleum. I never thought that that part was a considerable thing. So I applaud the Dangote group and Dangote himself for making this decision. I don't know how you feel about this. 970 to marketers. Will that reflect back on the people? Will the price of fuel go back to below 1,000? That is something that we need to find out this morning. Welcome to High Voltage. This is newspaper reviews and analysis. You can call me, or you can interface live with me on YouTube on High Voltage. You need to like, subscribe, and share so that you will be a complete part of what we're doing here. You can also call our phone numbers. These are our phone lines: 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347 to be live in the studio this morning with me to air your views, your contributions, and your comments. I usually always advise you to keep them simple, clean, and civil so that we don't break any rules while we're trying to have a rather productive conversation. My name is Mavis, and this morning we will begin by looking at the Punch newspaper to tell you that reps may clash over Tinubu's 2.2 billion naira fresh loan on Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Is that necessary? Do they need to do that? Do they necessarily need to do that? Apparently, he is going to borrow the money anyways. So, is this not a little too late at this point? This is just me thinking at the top of my head. That is coming from the Punch newspaper this morning. So we're looking forward to a disagreement about the 2.2 billion naira fresh loan that the federal government has already made their intentions known to the reps that they need to take. But this is conflicting because it's already been approved. I mean, I read that headline here myself where the reps had already approved this. So perhaps this agreement is fresh on the horizon. We don't know, but I'm thinking that they should have all had this argument or had this conversation way before now, right? But if they are willing to continue the conversation, then that is also a good thing. All right, moving forward, Oyedepo's jet can't leave private airstrip without clearance, says Kiyamo. He was on the Channels TV, that was last night, where he went into details about the reasons why that particular license for Oyedepo's airstrip had been, withdrawn. All right. Apparently, it didn't pass or it didn't go through all the necessary clearances from the necessary agencies that were supposed to certify them before the airstrip was awarded. So that's going on this morning. Also, Buhari removed ex-CJN Onoen to penetrate electoral mischief, says Clark. All right, we're back. We're back on it. It's amazing that with a new government running things in this country, we're still not comfortable yet. We're still talking and having conversation as if though the country is just still about having some sort of campaign. I can't believe this. The opposition running helter skelter because I heard show me this morning, and while he was trying rather difficultly to defend the PDP and their opposition state and how they are carrying on as the opposition party in this country. And Show Me was really pissed off rather than trying to answer the question because the PDP, whether you like it or not, has a lot of issues wrong with it. And a country without any functional opposition is looking at a very dangerous step because already there is talks of a one-party system in Nigeria. It's happening. All right, the body language of the ruling party is signaling that there is a chance that in the near future, if nothing is done, we might be looking at a one-party system in our hands. It's Nigeria. Are we ready for such political pathway? Is this something that we think we can allow happen? So I don't know what is going on, but we can't still be having conversation around ex-presidents and contesting would have been presidents and what they would have done. The conversation of Peter will be still there at large. You know, you have conversations going on about ex-president Buhari, former president Olusegun Obasanjo. They are all back in the news as if we do not have someone already on the chairs running things. This is a big problem. All right. So I'm hoping that the PDP actually step up and play opposition for once. I mean, the APC, they were able to do this because a bunch of people from the PDP decided to help things at the APC. And of course, we remember the supposed merge during election where it was AP, PDP, or whatever. But the truth is that there was an opposition that was very, very relevant from the APC, which is why the PDP were able to lose power that they've held down for 16 years. So what is the reason? Why don't we have PDP playing opposition to the ruling party, so that there will be balance and equilibrium? The administration of Bola Tinubu is steady on the defense, which we will get to when we get to our investigated stories. But the truth is, this is a running helter-skelter. We don't know who is doing what and how all of this is connected. We're asking questions and questions, and it's going round and round and round. Who is responsible for what? You know. Anyways, this is all coming from the Punch newspaper. Let's take just one more before we call it a day. The U.S. Senator threatens sanctions on allies enforcing ICC warrants on Netanyahu, and that is on the foreign news this morning. Let's quickly move over to the Vanguard. Let's see what is good there. Accidental leadership, Obasanjo, Buhari and Tinubu and others are unprepared, says Bishop Kuka. Why would he say that they are unprepared? Unprepared? Is that really the words to describe these former leaders and, of course, the present leader? Accidental leadership, Obasanjo, Buhari, Tinubu, and others unprepared, said Bishop Kuka. Anyways, if you want more details on that particular story, you can check out the headlines on the, news channels this morning. You can also check this out on High Voltage News on YouTube. Okay, like, subscribe, and share. We're steady giving you breaking news and top stories, keeping you up to date with what's going on. All right, you can join this conversation from any part of the world that you're in. All right, moving on. Petrol 58% price difference, and fuels. Okay, I'm trying to see get that right. Price difference, fuel smuggling to neighboring countries. Ole, all right, let's do that again. 58% price difference, fuels smuggling to neighboring countries. What are you people talking about? 58% price difference, fuels smuggling to neighboring countries. We still have enough to smuggle. All right. All right, moving on. Let's see what more we can grab. The Vanguard doesn't seem to have a lot of stories for us this morning. So let's see who does have news for us this morning. From the Daily Post, Damagun continuous postponement of NEC meeting unsettles PDP stakeholders. Now, I've told you that the PDP has been in the news. Uh, with journalists, press members, and the Nigerian public asking the PDP why on earth they are not acting in their capacity as the opposition party, and also looking at the conflict with Wike's very present participation in the ruling government, that is APC, and also holding very top position with the PDP. And people are trying to reconcile these particular affiliations between the two parties and wondering if this is the reason why the PDP is not acting in its capacity as opposition party that it is supposed to be. So you have a government that is infiltrating its opposition party from the look of things. So why is the NEC meeting being continuously postponed? This is unsettling. So the PDP, maybe it's time you people go in for some real house cleaning, because the story is coming out not so good. Your defenses not so strong. All right, let's see what more we can get. IMF feels Tinubu's government is not punishing Nigerians enough. This is an analysis interview from Adebayo. All right, I don't know what punishing means, but it pretty much sounds like it. But it turns out that the presidency has a lot of defense for the experiences we are having in the country. And apparently, some sectors also believe that it's in the right direction. So there isn't much that anybody can do about our current state at the time. All right, let's move on the Daily Post this morning. PDP National Chairman, Secretary, always in Wike's bedroom. I don't know what that means, but this is coming from lawmakers. I don't know. This is all political romance. I don't know, but yeah, always in Wike's bedroom. Who knows what that is? Can't explain. But this is politics, so innuendos are also welcomed in this business. Moving forward, National Assembly will pass Tinubu's tax reform bills, says Jabrin. So despite all of the arguments about this tax situation, that bill is going to be passed after all, because I remember that the presidency, that is the federal government, vehemently said they will not take any advice as regards to the tax reform bills. So yeah, no surprises on that particular headline. All right, let's see if there's more that we can grab this morning. Okay, First Lady Tinubu backs 16 days activism against gender-based violence. A welcome development, if you ask me. All right, let's see what more's in the news. Nigerian government won't approve international flights without patronage of local caterers, says Festus Keyamo. Have you seen the price of flight tickets in Nigeria presently? I wish you have. All right, let's take you straight to the Premium Times and see what we can grab there. Nigerian medical consultants suspend strike to review progress in December. All right, we hope this is not the case of we make someone happy and the rest of you can find your way. Hopefully, this is not what's going on right here with this suspension of said strike by surgeons in the country. We are hoping that by now we should have dealt with our education sector, we would have dealt with our medical sector, and we would have been done with these conversations. I'm so tired of hearing that we have not paid teachers, but we are owing teachers, we're owing medical professionals. I don't understand what part of the country is actually working. No, I'm serious. What part of this country works? What agency in this country is functional? What works here? The presidency just announced a $20 billion return on not paying subsidy. If you are making that much money from not paying subsidy, why do you need to borrow so much? Yeah, if we are getting returns for not paying subsidy and they are in billions, why are we borrowing? Remind me once again why we're borrowing, because this is $2.2 billion that the federal government is trying to borrow. And you just said that we make 20 billion from not paying subsidies. So I'm trying to reconcile why it is that we're borrowing again. You see where I'm going with this? That's the point. That is the point. So you name these returns. I remember when the EFCC named the returns that they have given back to the presidency on their recoveries. Whatever happens to these monies? I remember when Abacha's loot always comes back home, and these monies are in billions of dollars. Whatever happens to them? And why does this particular government give us the body language of an Almajiri system where it is going on global summits and asking for monies that don't get to the people? A government of palliative that doesn't get to the people. I can tell you that I've observed that within the past 6 months, the amount of palliatives that have been said to have been given out to Nigerians in the past 6 months, if they actually had remitted 50% of that money back to the people, my goodness, do you know how much better we would have fared if truly the palliatives were working, or if the palliative system was really a thing? But we're not seeing any progress from any direction. Actually, we're not. No part of this is working. You go out there in the streets. Today is Monday. It was so difficult to find transportation. You go out there, our streets are emptier by the day. People are squeezing themselves empty by the day. And this government is going on rampage. I'm going to take you to our investigated stories. Let me tell you that Doyin Okupe has been very busy these past few days, going on rampage, defending the government so strongly. But our observations are quite different. Our realities are quite different, because we are sitting here, we are wondering what next month is going to look like for the average Nigerian, for the average man out there. Wondering what Christmas will look like for those who are beginning to just experience Nigeria. The memory that we are creating now is quite sad, considering that some of you who have lived in this country long enough have had some good experiences, and for some reason you are watching it deteriorate to a sad level. And there is no outrage. You're not worried about your children and your grandchildren. You're not wondering what all of these things I'm telling you, how all of this is rising up and changing our lives every single day. Anyways, you can join me on this analysis this morning. You can call live into the studio. You can send a text message or a WhatsApp message, or you can comment live on the YouTube channel. All right, and we would read that out, have your voices be heard. But that is the much that we would do, at least from here, from now. The least we can do is familiarize ourselves with the things that are happening, see if we can understand them, and probably find our own way to cushion these, because it seems we have been defeated. Nobody can help us. It seems so. It seems nobody can help us. Look at the elections that are ongoing. Look at Edo State. Look at Osun State. Anambra State is coming into focus. What is going to happen? If what we've seen is true, what is going to happen with Anambra State elections next year? This is the conversations that we all should be having. Is this going to really happen? Is the APC going to take over all the states in the country? Who knows? Let's see if we can grab a few more stories, and then I will open up completely. Medical consultants suspend the strike. I've told you that before now. Moving on, Dangote Refinery announces reduction in price of petroleum. I also told you about this. Nigerian students' enrollment in US's higher institution rises, says officials. All right. Nigerian students' enrollment in U.S. higher institutions rises. Any surprises there? Not that I can think of. All right, Nigerian businessman arrested for ingesting 2 kg of cocaine, says NDLEA. All right, that's as much as it goes this morning. But you've heard the highlights of what's in the local news this morning. I'll take you to our investigated stories. Let me show you what we've gathered over the weekend. Let's show you what we've gathered over the weekend on our investigated stories. Doyin Okupe went on TV, and for 1 hour he went on dedicatingly defending the presidency and their policies. Tinubu is a reformer and not an accidental leader. The presidency fires back at Bishop Kuka on his comments about Tinubu, former President Buhari, and former President Obasanjo being accidental leaders. These kind of statements, I take objection to these statements, because when they are said, it looks like it's just a tap in the wind or just a walk around the park. If you call the number of years wasted in leadership accidental, then it means we don't even know what we're doing. Our impoverishment cannot be accidental. Enough that it looks like a template is being followed, whereby where you stop, your brother picks up. This is not it. Good morning. Yes, you're welcome, sir.
That's what you drop. Their emergency is not an accidental,
Mm-hmm.
because they went through a process. It wasn't like a queue. Even if it's a queue, it was planned somewhere and executed somewhere. So the emergency, they went through a process. It's just that the people they took power from could not understand the feelings of Nigerians at that time.
Mm-hmm.
The emergence of Obasanjo on the as second president after the first one
As
after
military.
the death of Murtala Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
He went through process. He contested election. He was a preferable candidate of the military.
Mm.
It all boils down on the nature of our constitution, and that was why when you have a house with faulty foundation, you continue to crack, you continue to amend unless you address that fundamental issue.
Mm-hmm.
So for Obasanjo, I wouldn't admit that his emergencies is exemplar. He exhibited a leadership. He trusted Nigerians.
Okay.
He trusted the whole Nigeria. If you look at the people that make up of his administration during that time, you know he's a real leader that has emerged, because he did not segregate among any ethnic group. He did not say this is that or you are from that. He was looking for the best for Nigeria.
True.
And if you saw the economic program from his own, Nigeria got debt relief. Nigeria got a lot of international help.
Assistance. Oh yes.
And that helped the economy very well.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So he did his best. This power plant we have today was built by Obasanjo, not by any other person. It was built by Obasanjo, not by any other person. The APC government have not shown us even one they've been able to bring. It's like an exam. When you write the exam, the result will come out.
Mm-hmm.
What they are trying to do is to use state capture to make sure they install their own candidates in all the states, which is not going to be good for our democracy. There must be voice of opposition. The essence of opposition is to checkmate those in power. So their desperation to catch all the states will definitely crash because Nigerians may eventually discover what they are doing at the wrong run. So Buhari came in, he had contested for so many times, failed, and had a good alliance. At that time, they put pressure on the then government of Jonathan. And the PDP then was having a lot of issues among themselves. Instead of them to overlook those things, come together and consolidate on their power, they fight against themselves. And that was what the opposition took as an advantage and took the power from them. So it's not by accident. It's by process. It's not by accident at all.
All right, my good man. Thank you for calling the show.
All right.
And sharing your views with us. It is very important to know that we do need the opposition to act accordingly. If not, we are doomed as a nation. Because who is going to actually checkmate the behaviors of the ruling power if there is no opposition? Now, my friend who just called, he said that there was a strong opposition during the Jonathan regime. We also saw how that transition happened. We must also, maybe, actually, it's time for the PDP to address themselves as a political party. Is it time to dissolve it? Because it seems they can actually make their minds up if they are really an opposition party or if they're an alliance with the ruling class. Good morning.
Maybe good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, from Aguano Road.
Welcome.
You see, when Bishop talks about accidental leaders,
Yes.
the accidental he is referring to is that those people were not prepared. They have no basic program so to execute. They just came in for the purposes of leadership. Take, for example, that of Obasanjo. Let me tell you, any leader that decided to destroy the electoral system of a nation has destroyed the whole nation. This rigging and all the things we're having today in this country started with Obasanjo. He was the one who even told the whole world that in the whole country that the election should be seen as a do or die affair. How are we talking? He destroyed the whole thing during his own time. 2003 and 2000 elections were never done. They were written in people's houses and sent to INEC. It was even Irada who came and confessed and confirmed that the election that brought him into power was fraud. Yes, and promised to embark on electoral reforms. So the truth has to be told. What about the whole assets owned by federal government and state government? It was Obasanjo that sold all of them. All of them. Can you imagine NITES that was sold for only $2.4 billion US dollars? How are we talking? And that's when we talk about NITES, we are talking about the whole country, all the whole assets owned by NITES in the whole country. How
much did you say it was sold for again?
Huh?
How much did you say it was sold for? $2.4 billion.
Dollars. 2.4. For the whole asset, all those places,
Yes.
everywhere. Look at it for the whole country.
Quite sad.
And then the whole vehicles and the whole houses, all the water. The man is the one that destroyed quarters and then went. Okay, was there being a first quarter?
So many things have disappeared here. So many things have disappeared in this country.
Eh?
No, you said, have I seen quarters? And I'm saying everything has disappeared in this country. Everything that affects Nigerians have disappeared.
Now, when you come to the issue of Dangote, talking about reducing the price, he's just trying to play politics because the truth is that if you look at the details of that story, they say that the landing cost of fuel, imported fuel, has now dropped to 971 naira. So to make sure that people stay by his own, he brought down his own to 970, a difference of only 1 naira. Because if we had left it on that 990, then people would have moved to start importing fuel once more.
Okay.
So immediately he saw that the price of that imported fuel has dropped to 297, 271. He decided to bring his own 200 and so sorry,
970.
970.
Yeah,
Because of only
970.
1 naira. He's talking about that he's teaching us for Christmas.
I didn't know it was a criteria for reduction. I never knew. I never knew. This whole time that we've been saying all of this.
Don't mind him. So, my problem is that, let me tell you the truth. My problem is not necessarily Tinubu.
Okay.
Because all this subsidy, when people say that he's dancing to the tune of the international organization like IMF and World Bank, I do not completely agree.
Why?
Because
Why is that?
all the 3 subsidies that have been removed, floating of Naira, then the issue of that of the electricity and the fuel, is that kind of what they agreed. All the roads as the state governors agreed and they are clapping for. Have you ever seen any of the state governors that said anything against?
Not once. Not once.
God bless you. So
Not once.
They are all happy. And I could remember the last time Tinubu called a meeting of governors, those parties governors, he pleaded with them now that you people are collecting excess money. And there is no way this money can get to the grassroots except if the governors will be ready to embark on those policies that will impact that will have impact on the poor ones. Go and clear salaries, clear pension, clear gratuity. And I could remember he cited the case of what happened in 1984 when Buhari changed currency. And there was actually of the new currency until Buhari paid, I think he said February salary of that particular year, and that new currency flooded everywhere, just by simple payment of salary. So he used it to tell them that if they can use this excess money and go home and clear whatever they are owing, then people will not feel it so much. And look at Enugu. Instead of giving water to the whole household, which will impact on the poor ones, because at least everybody needs water. Water is far more important than roads. Water is far more important than the 5-star hotel. As I'm talking to you, there's no water in Agua and Road. No water in Gariki.
That is not what the social media and the rest of Nigeria knows. As far as social media is concerned and the rest of Nigerians, Enugu has 100% water because the governor has delivered on his promises.
Those of us here in Enugu, we know the truth now. And he himself is aware of the truth. And what about the pension? He told the pensioners then that within 100 days of his office, he was going to clear the arrears of the whole gratuity. As I'm talking to you, he has not even paid any single retired pensioner, state pensioner his gratuity.
That one too has been said to have been paid. There are pictures to prove that it's been settled on social media as well. So it's hard to put all of this together.
He has not paid any single fellow gratuity in this day. Not even one person. Not one person. If you people have any program in radio, just bring out 30 minutes or 1 hour. Use it as a topic. Ask any person who has received gratuity in this day to call and tell you. He has not done that.
Okay.
He has a good radio. Is this live? It cannot be live. He has not done it. So what I'm saying is that if the state governor, it is only the Bakari Kema that has cleared his gratuity.
That is true. That is true.
Are you getting me? So these people decided to collect that excess money and hold it to themselves. And what do you know, like I told you the other day, on Friday, I bought 4 gallons, this is 400 gallons of water, 12,000 naira. Then I start wondering if I should cry for that type of thing. What about those people who buy their own jerrycan and then they just fill it out?
That's right. That's right.
Oh God. I start asking myself, if I should see such pain, what about those ones who cannot afford to go and buy their own in GBA bank. So the problem we have in this country, I'm sorry to say, the state governors are sabotaging the effort of the state. Because that you are asking what about the 20 billion US dollars he's saving every month from subsidy. That money is being shared among the 3 tiers of government.
So, oh dear.
Yes, he shares it every month among them, and that's why many of them are getting almost triple what they were getting before. It's not Tinubu that is holding it, but instead of I just merely what gratuity in the mother, they go to that they fail, they will not do it. They will prefer 5-star hotel. They will prefer this narrow road. The road equals each 1 billion, where it's not 2 billion, or when I do market. Look at our what do you call it? This much out there, the smart school, 260, and I crave. Apart from Owo, is there any other place in the state where I have smart school working? So I don't like what the Tinubu is doing best. The people that are creating more problems are the state government. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was very, very explicit, very explanatory, and very clear. And you mentioned so much. And if you care about this nation, I guess you would feel the same way. These conversations, they are worth having, and they are heartbreaking to have at the same time. All right, you can call into the studio, call the phone lines, send us a text message or a WhatsApp message. You're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. This is Barrister Mecca calling from Enugu.
You're welcome, Barrister.
Thank you. I disagree with the last caller.
On which part?
Please, let's just be focused.
Okay.
I'm not holding brief for Enugu State Governor.
All right.
Barrister Mba. But there are things we can see by ourselves, and we can use it to measure his fulfillment of campaign promises. We've seen how he has been able to change all the colonial pipelines of water in Enugu. And each time they pump that water, you see a lot of leakages everywhere. And I believe that what they're working on
Okay.
to put it in has done so much on the area of water.
Okay.
If you see some other areas, strategic places they build, I think is it an outlet of water so that people can go there and collect water. By the time that thing will start running, the issue of water will be a thing of past. Okay?
Okay.
And talking about that the governors are sabotaging the president, it's not true. It's not well detailed. He doesn't have the in-depth knowledge of how the economy works.
Could you explain to us?
It is better for Nigerians to be on the way we are before the coming of this administration.
How do you mean? How do you mean?
Now, he removed the subsidy, right?
Yes.
And the money that's supposed to come from the subsidy, that's what the man is referring to. They're getting triple of what they were getting.
The federal government announced, yes.
And devalued that naira. Now, you and I know ordinary pure water, sachet water we buy that time by 10 naira. It's now 15 naira. You can take it like that and check every other thing. All the production, all the cost of the production up to now, at the moment has tripled. So it would have been better that if you had removed the subsidy without floating the naira, we would have a strong bargaining point. That is to say, our naira will have its value.
Okay.
But the devaluing of the naira has messed up the entire thing and swallowed whatever progress we would have made in terms of subsidy. It is true that some other presidential candidates said they will remove subsidy. But if I remember very well, Obi said that the subsidy is a criminality against Nigerians, that 50% of it does not exist. What we had expected from the president, he is the president, not Mba. Mba is not the president. The president should bring out his program, the anti-corruption program, sanitize that system. There is no country on earth that does not pay subsidy to their people, and more especially on energy. Go and check all they pay heavily on subsidizing energy for their people. So okay, they will pay some good rhetoric persons to come to media and say, "Government have no business to this."
But Barrister Mecca,
for those things.
Barrister Mecca,
in Europe they pay.
Baisemeka, there's a question I want to ask you, right? Because I think I kind of understand where Mr. Okechukwu, who called, whom you're trying to disagree with, is coming from. Now, let me ask you on his behalf, right? Because he mentioned this pension situation. He also mentioned water and a bunch of other things.
Let me comment on that.
Okay.
I think there's a proof that they have started paying that pension.
Is
I've
there
had
proof?
it.
Do you
I've
have
had some
proof?
person saying that they have started getting their money, but whether it has gotten to all the ministry or all the pensioners, that one is what I cannot say here.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not holding brief for the government, but I know they are doing something about that.
Okay.
If I should be in position anytime, any day, I'll tackle pension money, that pension problem, because that money is not part of the so-called money coming from back or whatever. This is money deducted from the first day they were being paid their salary. So the day they are going, they should go with the check of that money. So this money is deducted from their money. If I have the position to that is the first thing I will address. Any civil servant that is going should go with his money. There's no two ways about it. I'm not joking. I knew when my father was a retired headmaster, anytime he went to some treasury and came back with that money, I know how hell my father feels. So if I'm in position, I will address that pension straight away. That's the issue. That's the truth about it. So I think they have started doing it, but it's very slow. What we're saying, let them do it so that they let them clear the whole areas so that people can have life and have something to sustain their life with. You understand? So coming to the issue of cost of road and all that, like I said before, that devaluation of Naira, Nigeria will not come out of it on time, and we have not even seen any sign that will make us to come out of it. Because, in honest, this government are not sincere. They're not telling us truth. If you look at what they are doing with
Barrister, please hurry up so we can take a few other calls, yeah?
Okay, let me drop. If you see what they are doing with Dangote, you will know they are not telling us truth. It was Dangote that pulled their legs out. Why won't we even do the repair our refineries? Why? Why is it not working?
Too many questions to ask, Barrister, but thank you for calling in this morning. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. God bless you. All right. If you are lucky, you can still join me on the conversation this morning. In some ways, I kind of buy the ideologies. I like what Barrister Emeka said, because I mean the governor is doing amazing work, but we're talking about direct affecting of the lives of the people in their constituents. That's the conversation. Good morning to you.
My name is Charles Martin.
You're welcome, Charles. How are you today? It's been a while.
Doing well, doing well. And you?
Very well, very well.
Talking about Obasanjo, Tinubu, and the rider being prepared.
Accidental.
Accidental, then unprepared too. I had accidental, then I had something like unprepared.
Of course.
That's a very wrong notion, because from my account, I feel that the Buhari and some of the 76 to the governor of Borno State. Obasanjo was head of state in the 70s.
Okay.
If you look at their profiles, there's nothing to say that they were well prepared. You understand?
Okay.
Tinubu was a senator in 1991 or 92. So when you look at these guys have been in government for about 40 years or thereabouts. So telling me they were accidental is totally false. The issue is that Nigerians are not ready for democracy.
Wow.
Judging by what just happened in the United States. You know, Kamala Harris has 74 point something million votes. White Trump has 28 point something million votes. In a country of about 300 million people. Go and check how many votes P2P got in the last election. Check the votes that Atiku got. People got about 6 million. People got about 6 million.
Charles, where are you coming from? You have an election that happened, and the response was, if you're not okay with the results, go to court. Do you want to talk about all the irregularities of that election?
See,
yes.
You will take percentage. You take a percentage of people who participated. In America, about 50% of everybody in America participated.
Okay.
You talk about 250 million people voted out of 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether I get the point.
I'm hearing
In
you.
Nigeria, out of 200 million people,
Mm-hmm.
only about 20 million will vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10%. Get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Then if you now take in advanced countries, nobody sponsors the elections alone. Like tributes will sponsor the election alone, or
Yeah.
sponsor alone.
Mm.
They buy delegates, $10,000 and all that. But if you go to America, even the poor farmer, the poor man, they contribute to the Donald Trump campaign, Kamala Harris campaign. All Democrats to contribute. Even if it's $10, $5. If I ask you now, Wealthy, did you
Mhm.
contribute for P2B or did you contribute for Atiku? You did not. You did not.
Well, just to answer your question, I lost my job to P2B, so please, I gave my blood for that stuff. Just to answer your question, I lost my job. It was that serious. I lost my job to P2B. Is that serious?
See, until you get to that point
Mhm.
whereby I will bring up maybe 100K, 1 million,
Okay,
and give to somebody who's going to take for president or for Copa.
that's right.
I have no right to come and start dancing. You get?
Mm.
When Obama contested, people contributed $5, $10, $100, $1,000 for his campaign.
Mm.
That's how it works.
But let me ask you a question, Charles. Why do you think that the American people were very invested in that election? Why do you think that is? Because this will create the distinction between us and them. 1 minute, because we have to go.
There is a system on ground.
There is system
When
on ground.
people wake up and they are turning into Democrats, they become Republicans or they become Democrats. There is a system that has been there for hundreds of years. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Don't ignore a political system. Nobody knows. I don't even know whether I'm a Democrat or whether I'm a Republican or whether I'm a conservative.
Now you're following. Now you're following.
There is a system there. Democrats will come out and say, we are going to do this. We are going, and they will fight for it. Republicans will come out and say, we are going to do this. We are going to fight. So there's no such thing in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Let me also here for so that people can continue. Good morning.
It's all right. Thank you very much, Charles, for calling. And fortunately, or rather unfortunately, you are my last caller this morning. This program comes to you every weekday, Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. till 10. You can be a part of this. You can also follow us on Facebook, and you can join our YouTube channel. That is High Voltage News. Like, subscribe, and share. You cannot teach people what they know. It's hard to tell someone to believe in something they're very sure of. Now, the Americans, they trust their system. They can literally see that it works to their advantage. This is a whole other conversation that we need to have, okay? The complete distrust of the average Nigerian on the entire Nigerian structure is a conversation that we have not had as a people. And when we are ready to have that conversation, we will have it, and we will begin to find a way to build trust back, whereby our children can trust the system. The people who are coming after us can have something to depend on and look up to. All right? That is where I would leave you this morning. Think about these things. Think about what you're doing now and what that would reflect on for your children and your grandchildren. That way, with that mentality, we might be able to save this country some. Have a good day and be good to each other. Good morning.